Change. Above all the things that come and go, change is the only one that stays. This is Bentong, a grade 12 senior high school student taking up the technical vocational learning track. Like any other student, he does his best to wake up early and prepare for school. Mornings are great for Bentong, as he is reminded of being another day closer to his goals. The perseverance and determination to alleviate his family from the struggles that hold them back fuel Bentong's spirit as a student, like an engine roaring with strength and resilience. As his arms slid through the sleeves of his white uniform, his mind wanders to a cloud of thoughts, all them filled with aspirations, questions, and awe. Is this going to be another normal day? Or will this be one of those very rare days where his heart is braver and his soul dreaming with every pound of it? To Bentong, his destination is still far from reach, but with every step he takes, every question he asks, and every change he embraces, he grows, each time stronger and wiser. And yet today, a sudden change confronts the fate he has long cultivated. The loud corners of his school were deafening him with silence that he wondered if he has lost his hearing. The thud sound of chalk and shoes kissing the floor of their buildings were nowhere to be found. Loud cheers and beats were fainter than whispers, and all is left, he wondered. What will happen now?
So, ang napili nating school opening date ay August 24.
On a broadcast interview on ANC, Philippine Department of Education Secretary Leonor Briones declared August 24, 2020 as the start of classes for this school year. However, due to the pressing concerns and situations beyond our control, President Rodrigo Duterte approved October 5 as a new date for opening of classes, following the recommendation of the Department of Education.
This morning, we received a memorandum from the Office of the President that the President has already made the decision in respect to the recommendation that I submitted to him last August 6.
San Miguel PUERTOS High School is a public high school which offers junior and senior high school. It is located at Barangay San Miguel, Dagohoy, Bohol. Like other schools, we as a school had to cope up with this pandemic right at the beginning of the school year. But we firmly believe that together as one, we can overcome this obstacle that befall us. In the middle of June this year, we started our blended learning with our learners by providing them with modular lessons suited to their level of intelligence. Now let me give you an overview of how we manage things with regards to following the COVID-19 protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the San Miguel PUERTOS High School, Senior High School Department in the era of the new normal.
The sector of education of the Dagohoy district started plotting their plans for the school year, upholding the new normal setup. These were then disseminated to their stakeholders. Parents were informed ahead of time for the orientation program through calls and sending text messages. Their body temperatures were recorded upon arrival and were asked to provide their personal information before entering the venue. They were reminded to adhere to basic safety protocols like wearing masks and maintaining social distancing. Enrollment came in a different manner this year. Remote enrollment was the new trend. Color-coded boxes containing the enrollment forms were prepared and dropped off in pickup centers like school and purok to provide ease for the students and parents in the enrollment period. The retrieval of enrollment forms now follow. Section D of the LESF helped the teachers identify the learning delivery modality that will be utilized with respect to the resources and capacities of the students. Profiling of students' data by class was then reviewed and finalized. Having identified modular distant learning as the preferred learning modality of the students, despite the absence of textbooks and other learning materials, SMPHS teachers are blessed to receive and retrieve electronic copies of modules from the Department of Education, Region 7. Furthermore, the Division Office of Bohol is one in providing fresh insights to our teachers with webinars discussing ways in delivering lessons, coping with the new normal in the new normal. To ensure the balance in the students' activities at home and for school during this pandemic, our mentors developed a model class program in going over their modules. Spearheaded by Mr. Victor Montesilio, SMPHS teachers joined an online planning conference discussing matters on the implementation of preferred learning modality. With everything nearly set, SMPHS faculty went full force in preparing the materials needed for the chosen learning modality, from the encoding and printing of activity sheets, coming up with a parent's guide and parent's checklist, and of course, finalizing the teacher's weekly plan. Safety is our top priority. That is why safety reminders were posted on the school premises to remind teachers and parents of the basic health protocols to abide with. Disinfectants were prepared as well. Alcohol, sanitizers, and other hygienic and safety supplies were kept in check. Foot bath was also prepared for anyone who wishes to enter the faculty room. Activity boxes were prepared to contain the activity sheets of the students. These were then enhanced to abide with the color coding strategy set to identify which ones are subject for distribution, retrieval, and segregation. The printed activity sheets are then segregated to their respective boxes. Since SMPHS has started its distribution in the middle of June this year, They have finished a few waves of distribution already upon the making of this video. Following the model class schedule, the student reads and answers the activity sheets on his own or with the facilitation of his parents or elder siblings. In case of clarifications, the student and his guardian can freely ask the teacher over a call or text message. Neither a classroom nor a pandemic can confine a teaching heart and a teacher's helping hand. In returning the answered modules, parents' temperature is checked first before filling up a monitoring sheet with their own pens. It is very important to note that students' relatives of ages 18 and above are the only ones allowed to claim and return the modules aside from their parents. The retrieved modules are then left untouched for 3 days before the teachers can get a hold of them. The advisor is in charge of segregating answered learning activity sheets. The advisor is also responsible in distributing the learning activity sheets to subject teachers. Upon receiving the LAS distributed by the advisor, subject teachers will now check the student's output. From the subject teacher, the checked outputs are forwarded to the advisor for the compilation of students' individual folders, which are subject for the pickup of parents. Upon arrival of parents, their temperature is checked and are asked to fill up the monitoring sheet or logbook with their own pens. An individual learning monitoring plan is accomplished to trace the progress of the learner. The claimed folders are subject for parents' counter signature. It is essential in education for students to reflect on the progress they make, even with their tiny steps. A post-conference was held to provide an avenue for the school heads to raise their concerns and feedbacks about the current situations their schools are facing.
Akong ikasulti about sa modular distance learning, uyon ko. Tungod sa panahon karon para safety ang akong anak. Pero na problema ko kay mangutana ang akong anak naho about sa ilang activity, dili ko makatubag. Maayo man jud tong maestra nga mo discuss nila kay ma-explain man nila og tarong. Kunya makasabot na ang akong anak.
2020, a chapter of uncertainty. The whole world was shaken by the unseen enemy, coronavirus. Millions have lost their jobs, and because of this, some students like Bentong are torn between pursuing their studies and helping their parents tend to their rice fields for extra income to suffice their needs, and staying home while the COVID-19 still shatters the world today. But with the methods developed by the Department of Education, with our teachers working together, our families cooperating and supporting us, and our will to rise above the odds and embrace change with the right mindset, no one will be left behind.
In the midst of this pandemic, San Miguel Puertos High School would like to assure you that we are doing the best that we can to ensure the continuity of learning of our students and that basic quality education will be delivered effectively to every Filipino student.
In getting things done, we are 100% ready. Ika nga, all systems go for SMPHS in following the plan once face-to-face classes shall be implemented. We have already the disinfectants and washing facilities are already prepared. We will provide each learner with a face mask. Of course, social distancing will be followed to the letter by designing only up to 20 learners per classroom in 2 batches. The new normal?
We are ready for you!